In this unexpected situation, the man surprisingly gives the USB to the cop for protection, while the assassin behind is clearly terrified. A car halts behind the cop. The man steps out, striding over like retrieving his lost pet. Because we demolished their overseas base 2 years ago, this band of misfits ended up fleeing to the Philippines, proving that they really are you don't know what you've got until it's gone type. The man is Bai Zhengji, running the Philippines online market. User numbers have soared in the past year. However, boss Zhang Dongjia refused to raise his dividend, thinking he's already rich. This, of course, infuriated Bai Zhengji, and meanwhile, Zhang Dongjia was ready to deal with this rebellious subordinate by handing over the casino to his trusted ally. On the other side, the deceased was Korean. This Philippine case was handed over to us. A few days ago, when Uncle Ma busted a drug den, he found trading software. Turns out it was the deceased source code, so the case fell into Uncle Ma's lap. Sadly, his mother couldn't handle the news and exited this world in a hurry. All he left for Uncle Ma was a note. After some investigation, clues show the deceased casino data in Philippines was synced to the cloud. But Uncle Ma looked as confused as a cat at a dog show when it came to the cloud. He typically doesn't call anyone, preferring to ask each one personally. He was wondering when he could figure it all out, but just as the cops were about to download the cloud data, someone sweet-talked their way in and deleted the originals. After some detective work, they managed to find the website entrance but discovered it was invite-only to register. Plus, you had to cough up a hefty sum right off the bat. Just as his colleagues were scratching their heads, Uncle Ma had a light bulb moment. The scene shifts to two gang leaders squabbling like children over a lost toy, on the verge of a brawl. Just when it looked like fists were about to fly, Uncle Ma rolled in, but then one of the overly enthusiastic junior members jumped out. This was Uncle Ma's golden opportunity to vent at the gang's doorstep, and suddenly those gang leaders' eyes looked a lot clearer. Thanks to Uncle Ma's charm, they started hugging it out like long-lost pals. As their issues appeared ready to be resolved, Uncle Ma asked them for help in locating fellow gambling enthusiasts. Not long after, they had some hot hits. Apparently, someone had run an online casino in Korea. And this individual just so happens to be Uncle Ma's old acquaintance. Indeed, a former gangster who successfully turned his life around in the second step. Uncle Ma waved goodbye at the gang's door, having opened an arcade, living the dream of peak life. Yet when faced with Uncle Ma, he was as jumpy as a cat on a hot tin roof. Seeing that the other party wasn't so willing to cooperate, Uncle Ma decided to flex his muscles, leaving Yishu no choice but to head to the station. Eventually, he spilled the beans, revealing he once ran an online casino himself. He said these sites are often bought, and talents are crucial, some might even kidnap programmers. Then Yishu casually mentioned he was very familiar with the site, which was currently the world's biggest online casino. It monopolized the market. Yishu once worked under it. But when Bai Zhengji appeared, all online casinos in the Philippines suffered. That created a monopoly, and coincidentally, Yishu knew one of the site's agents in Korea. One night, a female cop and Yishu disguised themselves as gamblers to hit up an illegal casino. Just as Yishu started to speak, everyone almost had their hearts fall out in shock, and shortly afterwards, Yishu bet all his chips, totaling $5,000, only to lose it all in an instant. But this flashy move caught a man's attention, leading Yishu into the next room. The man then recommended his online casino, but upon learning the minimum deposit was a whopping $1 million, Yishu was left utterly stunned, and the man pulled out a knife. Fighting against the police is hopeless, but Uncle Ma was not one to let it slip easily. Under some serious pressure, the man had no choice but to spill the beans. His boss Choi Yaoshin just returned. Uncle Ma tracked him at the airport. To make things even messier, Bai Zhengji happened to arrive in Korea today too. The two nearly bumped into each other before everyone followed them to a clothing store, but just as they were about to make a move, Choi Yaoshin spotted them. Everyone broke into a thrilling chase in the storeroom. The man crawled over heaps of clothes and finally opened a back door to escape. He jumped into the waiting van, but the next second, Sida whisked him back to the station for interrogation. When Bai Zhengji finally saw Zhang Dongjia, he went straight for the money. Zhang Dongjia, like all bosses, tried to dodge his request, so Bai Zhengji returned from the Philippines to demand cash at his villa. Zhang Dongjia was still painting rosy pictures, insisting he shouldn't be short-sighted. Once the company went public, the profits would be through the roof. Bai Zhengji pretended to believe him, while Zhang Dongjia had his boys grease the palms of officials to smooth out the path for the IPO. This guy wasn't interested in money like you, he rejected the bribe. The official was stunned, and when Bai Zhengji handed him the check, he could no longer refuse. Bai Zhengji then threatened Zhang Dongjia, saying he'd plant the butters of his goons on his turf.